Hello everyone, and welcome to this lecture on GitHub. And we're going to discuss what GitHub is and how you can use it as a job search tool. We won't go over how to use GitHub, but we'll send you the proper links on how to learn and get trained in GitHub. So first thing we want to note is that Git, G-I-T, is an open source version control software used to track changes in the code. Git and GitHub are two separate things. Git, G-I-T, is open source software that anyone in the world can download. GitHub is a company and it's a service. GitHub is a web-based Git repository hosting service. So you can host your own code on GitHub for free and keep track of changes to it. So you use Git as version control to keep track of changes, and if you want to host your code online, you can use GitHub's service, and it's free as long as your repositories, the actual place where you're keeping your code, is public. You need to pay the company GitHub for private repositories. And so that's how GitHub makes their money. So even though both Git and the basics of GitHub for public repositories is free, if you want to have a private repository on the web, you need to pay GitHub. Most open source projects have moved to GitHub. Alright, so moving along, if you don't have a GitHub profile yet, your next step is to go to github.com and create a profile. Let's go ahead and jump to github.com so we can see what it looks like real quick. So it should take you here to github.com. You pick a username, put your email, create a password, and sign up for GitHub. Alright, so once you've done that, you can also download GitHub Desktop. And it's a way for you to use a graphical user interface to help contribute to projects. And you can do things such as create branches, make changes, do commits, and deploy, all from a native interface, regardless of what system you're using. So even if you don't understand what these terms mean, you'll probably be asked to download GitHub Desktop. And if you're not familiar with GitHub at all, I definitely recommend downloading it. Alright, so let's go ahead and go back to the presentation real quick. If you're interested in learning more about Git and GitHub, which I highly recommend you do, most companies use Git and GitHub as their version control software. There's two really great guides that GitHub themselves provide. These guides are so good that it's really not worth for me to try to teach you, since these guides do an excellent job of teaching you the basics of Git and GitHub and how to use it. So start with this link, guides.github.com/activities/hello-world, and once you've done that, then continue on to this training website, which is also provided by GitHub. These two links are really fantastic. They're provided by GitHub themselves. They're constantly updated in case there's any change in their platform. So that's why I'm suggesting you go with these two for learning how to use Git and GitHub. So if we just check out these links real quick, they'll look something like this. So this is the Hello World. It takes about 10 minutes to read. It'll teach you how to create a repository, open an issue, create a branch, make a commit, and then open a pull request and merge pull requests. So go through this. It's really great, and it's probably the best introduction online to how to use Git and GitHub, which makes sense because it's provided by GitHub themselves. Something else I want you to know, there's actually video guides. So if you look over here at the top right, you'll see a link to click GitHub, video guides. And if you click that, it'll take you to their YouTube channel here on home. And if you go to videos, you'll see here there's an intro to GitHub on GitHub and Git Foundations. You can go ahead and check those out if you want video explanations on how to go about learning the basics and foundations of Git and GitHub. It's all free and it's all provided by GitHub, so I really recommend you check that out. It's pretty much the best way to learn GitHub and how to use it. One other link I want you to be aware of is the GitHub training link. So you can use these for simple slides on learning on how to use GitHub and teaching other people how to use GitHub. So they're just basic slides teaching the basics of GitHub. So again, really recommend you check out the Hello World document. And if you want video guides, click on the top right. take you to their YouTube channel, and they have plenty of information on the basics, and they also have advanced factors to learn about on GitHub. Going back to the presentation quickly, as far as where GitHub fits into this overall larger picture of your job search, you should make sure to post personal projects that use code to GitHub, as long as you don't mind them being public, and have them be presentable with README files. If you don't know what those are yet, don't worry, after you do the training, you will. Recruiters sometimes look at GitHub for potential hires. So they may search GitHub for certain software packages or certain modules or libraries in a language and see what users have projects in those languages. So it's pretty important to have a good GitHub presence. And GitHub also has its own job search tool. So let's go ahead and hop and check that out real quickly. That job search tool looks something like this. It's jobs.github.com. And similar to the LinkedIn job search tool we just saw, you can enter a job description and location and then search. Obviously, since this is GitHub, it's pretty much directed exclusively to programmers or things that have to do with programming. All right, so that's going to be it. You're just going to be left with a homework assignment to complete. So let's go ahead and check that out. Your homework assignment is this. You need to create a GitHub account, follow the Hello World tutorial if you're not familiar with Git and GitHub. That will take about 10 minutes. Then check out the basics of training link or check out those training videos on YouTube. That should only take about 10 to 20 minutes. Then fork an interesting project on GitHub. You'll learn what a fork is after doing the Hello World tutorial. And then push some code to GitHub. And that's it. That's your homework. Basically, that should give you the ins and outs of a GitHub account. And as you move on throughout this course, you'll learn how GitHub can be used for your personal projects and creating a good web presence. All right, that's it for this lecture. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you at the next lecture.